What is up, everybody? Welcome to Fun Speculation Podcast, episode number. What are we on here? It says 74. Yes, this is a special week because this is Starfield Early Access Week. That's where we're at now. The time has finally come. Only 3 days away, we will be able to play the game potentially of the generation, the most important Xbox game to release in a long time, and a game that we'll probably remember for a long time as well. So looking forward to this. That's what the conversation is, all online and social media. Is Starfield this, Starfield that? Still got some people trying to bring people down about Starfield. It ain't working. Let me tell you this, all you're doing is adding to the discussion and propping the name Starfield up. Any naysayers out there? And it's a fun week for sure for gaming. Also, another game with the name Stars in it is reviewing extremely well this week. We'll talk about that and more on this episode. But I want to give a special thanks to our panel for being here, as always. How you doing, Jasper?
Pretty good. I've been watching all the Disney shows, trying to catch up, and so because we got Fun Pop coming up, so I've watched Ahsoka, finished Mandalorian season 3, and then started Invasion. I think I got one more episode of that left, so I'm catching up on all the Marvel stuff and Star Wars stuff.
I need to catch up too, man. I haven't even started yet, but I don't know. I've been too much in Starfield hype mode, and like, it's made me really weird lately. Like, I don't know, like.
That's why, like, I can't play a game right now because I don't have, like, I can't focus on it. So I've just been watching TV.
Right.
So.
I've been like making playlists, listening to music, and like I even did that dumbass
going outside, touching grass.
Yeah, weird stuff. I like last night I even did this weird ass stream that was like strange. I just like, let's try and make Starfield music, and it's like just weird. Like I'm such in a different like place with this game than I've been for so long that it's making me into a weird person right now. I don't know. It's strange.
I'm gonna do a Starfield stream tonight. I'm gonna look at the stars that we know that's in the game, and I'm gonna compare them to like the real stars. So
right on.
Look forward to tonight after the show, like 10-15 minutes after. So
sweet. How you doing, Fuzzy Belvedere?
I'm doing great. Still excited for Starfield. Can't wait until the end of this week. Just having a laugh or a chuckle at all the people on the app formerly known as Twitter making, just silly comparisons. Oh, there's invisible walls. Like they don't exist in every other game out there. Also, still pretty excited for Forza for the month after, which
I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a time crunch to some extent.
I mean, I'm a big Forza guy too. I love Forza Motorsport. It's my preferred Forza. It's my preferred racing game, period. And like to have that like a month after is just insane, dude. Like for you, like the racing guy, it's got to be extra special, right?
Yeah, like I think the big thing now is I keep on refreshing like their web page and their YouTube channel for updates. They did an update on Spa, the new. Well, they already announced the track, but they did a video for it. They showed the C8R or the racing vet. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that one, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna make the Oumuamua in Starfield, like that big rock thing that was like a cigar shape.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm probably going to see about building a ship like that in Starfield. So it's I got to figure out how to get a full 30 something days in Starfield before I can kind of not really set it down, but play it a little less and then hop both feet into Forza. So it's
at the end of this year, you'll have more hours in Forza Motorsport than you will Starfield for sure.
Yeah.
3-bit, what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Doing good. In terms of work, I've been doing a slate of Affleck commercials still, A lot of them are releasing what's the day? Probably on Wednesday. And then they down where I live, and also maybe in Texas, they there's a bunch of like brand stuff at different stadiums for Affleck that we've been working on, so that's been pretty fun because I worked on a couple of those. And then we have a bunch of like new brands that we're also working with outside of Affleck. But besides that, I'm in the same state as both Jasper and Mav, maybe. in terms of Starfield. I did get to play a little bit, but I'm not going to talk about this.
Yeah, you can't.
Talk
You're
about that.
not allowed.
Not
Well, he didn't sign an
not
NDA. He can talk about it, but
yeah, but I'm still going to be respectful to like
Yeah.
everybody because you know, it's special. So it's going to be interesting. So, anyways, I'm in the boat where I'm also just kind of waiting for all that to happen and just like watching Starfield videos, looking at stuff online, like behind the scenes, like they start posting about the characters and stuff like that. So I'm like diving into the history of. I haven't been this excited for a game since I was just talking to my girlfriend about it. Since probably Halo 3, maybe, where I was like waiting in line and like GameStop. So yeah. So
Yeah.
I remember I was making wallpapers back in the day of Halo 3 shit when they would like release like different like characters and stuff. I'd like cut out the characters and try to make wallpapers and like battling and shit. Like
yeah.
So 3-bit, you got like it sound. I didn't catch this earlier when we were talking, but it's almost like you know Soundwave from Transformers, right? You know who that is?
Is it?
Huh?
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking, there was like Lord Megatron. You know, it was like the slightly undertoning everything you're saying. I think it's gone now though. Can you say something again?
Okay. Test 1 2 3.
Yeah, it's gone.
You go.
Yeah.
Okay, I just unplugged it and plugged back in.
Okay, right on. Yeah, it is fixed. Chat, thanks for being here as well. I see lots of awesome people. It's up to our brother Still Reigns hanging out there. Amit Kumar, what's up? Bobby Hawk, Luis Jose, why so serious? How's it going? Def Leopard, how are you? Duke Togo, how's it going as well? Let's see here. We got Talos Re here hanging out. And FARK, what's up, FARK? Let's see, Andrew Colonane, Rob C, Jax82. Appreciate everybody for being here in the chat. Punty050. What's up? Ready for launch, Vic. I am as well. Vic. Reggie Lee, how's it going as well? Thanks everybody for partaking in the shenanigans here with FSP. What's up, RSJ fan? I see it too. Yeah, this is gonna be a big week, I think, for Xbox. There's been like this resurgence of sales actually on Amazon and other places. Xbox is seeing a huge increase already with this hype. We've already had lots of people comment about how they're buying Xboxes for Starfield as well. Even like PlayStation diehard fanboys that always hate Xbox and make videos and stuff shitting on Xbox are like, hey, you know what? I gotta get an Xbox to play this game or PC or whatever, right? And Steam charts are still through the roof for Starfield. Is this going to be the biggest launch of the generation for them as far as like numbers of players and stuff? I mean, there's still lots of big games to come. Fable's going to be like 2025, probably something like that. You know, you got maybe another, who knows, it could be another Halo, it'll be Gears, Perfect Dark. There's lots of other big games that are going to come. But Indiana Jones, that could be a big one. If Elder Scrolls 6 hits this generation, that would be the only one I could see potentially actually surpassing the launch numbers we get for Starfield coming up.
Call of Duty.
Well, that's a good point. You know what I mean? Like with the IPs that they own now, I guess, right? With the IPs that they own now. Do y'all, I mean, ABK is going to go through, I still think, and all that kind of stuff. So, but with the IPs they own now, though, is like, do y'all foresee another launch this generation that's going to be as big as Starfield? Is this the pinnacle moment coming up here?
I think maybe Horizon 6, because they got a lot of casuals on that. Like maybe that would be like more numbers for them, like in a faster period.
Yeah, they surpassed 32 million players. Last is that we heard on Horizon, which it's a good point. The next Horizon like blows people away as much as the first one did, and it has a leap there as well. could be onto something. But
I feel like in terms of hype, there's like people on TikTok talking about Starfield, so I don't know. Like
yeah.
it's reaching outside of our sphere, our
Mhm.
usual sphere of gaming talk. Like IGN's constantly talking about it. You have people on TikTok like, what's that Starfield game? And like I
Yeah.
just feel like in terms of hype, this game is definitely exceeding what I initially thought it would, how big I thought it would be. And I thought it was gonna be humongous. Um the way they're marketing the game, I remember marketing was a problem, right? Now no one's talking about that just because you're literally seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's
In
kind of
fact,
doing the marketing for itself
the
as well.
same people that were complaining and arguing about that stuff are saying, "How come people are trying to bring the hype down for Starfield now?" I've seen some of that. Like, weren't you just kind of the ones saying that they were making mistakes with Starfield just recently? And now all of a sudden, like, you're criticizing other people for like criticizing Xbox about Starfield and stuff like that. Like, the wishy-washiness, the floppiness going around here
It's
after
like
people
one
have,
narrative after another because they keep getting destroyed in different narratives, and they're just like, well, I have to bring this game down somehow. Like, what's next?
yeah.
Somebody,
It's like
quick! Give me
after
something.
people got the codes and the early impressions started rolling out and stuff, it's like
Mhm.
a lot of that early like marketing stuff, and obviously the marketing picked up like crazy, which we always said here. You go back and listen, they they didn't need 3 months of marketing. Like that was always a conversation we'd had. But the hype is through the roof to the point that like the people can no longer say anything to that. They just make themselves look dumb at this point, right? And then what you see now is more people that never had an interest in the game in the first place, or that just hate Xbox or hate Microsoft or just don't like RPG or whatever it is. They only like one kind of game, right? Go out there and try and point to specific things, bring things down, leak things that they think is going to draw negativity to the game in anticipation of its launch. Do y'all think that's having any negative effects out there at all? Because I've seen a lot of these posts and a lot of these things, and it seems like it's not affecting the hype whatsoever.
Definitely not affecting the hype. It seems like more so it's drawing attention to point and laugh at these people. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this game has invisible walls. Wait, you're the same one that said Horizon Forbidden West was transformative and it's got a ton of invisible walls. And then you look at Spider-Man, it's like, oh, I think I'm going to go to the Bronx. Nope. You got to, you have to do some sort of like glitch to get to where the Bronx would be. Oh, look, there's no map there. Oh, look at that.
Those games
It's
are
like,
not comparable
I,
to a freaking galaxy, and
Yeah.
you being able to have like 1,000 sandwiches on your ship. Like,
Right.
it's not comparable
That
at
that's
all.
a good point. Like to put that to perspective, right? So one of the big controversies, I guess you could say a controversy, whatever, is that there's boundaries on the planets when you land and stuff, right? And I think it was because it was unclear before, really 100% how it was going to work and stuff. But like, I think they went with how people are going to play the game, and to be able to create a game like this, they kind of made those decisions based on hardware. And for me, if you can land a ship somewhere and you can
I think
walk,
it's also it may be more noticeable in this because like in Fallout and Skyrim they hit it better. Like in Fallout, like you would either be like part of the map was cut off by water, you can't swim, or it was like radiation.
yeah, but
And like
that's
you
just
just keep walking
one
and
big open map too, though. I mean,
yeah.
this is like planets,
I'm
1,000
just
Yeah.
saying like it may be more
planets.
noticeable for people
This
compared to like Skyrim
Right,
and
yeah.
Fallout and stuff.
the area, I mean, that you can explore though is like bigger than the towns in Fallout, and like, it's like 10 times bigger, some people have said.
Yeah.
Like the boundary of what you're exploring in each section or wherever
And
you
to put
land.
that in perspective, with multiple points on one planet, plus also you can do that on 1,000 planets, the scope of it is just absolutely unreal in this type of game, right? Like with an actual story and quest and dialogue and all this kind of stuff. Welcome to the show, Psycho.
Well, thank you for having me. Getting ready for this lovely hurricane that we're gonna get.
Yeah. When is it hitting?
Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was storming like crazy over here. I live in Georgia.
Yeah.
for people
Man,
that don't
I
know.
hope your
Like,
power doesn't go out, bro.
Bro, don't
Oh my god.
bro. The
Wow.
timing on this hurricane couldn't be
Get that
any
generator
freaking
ready.
worse.
Yeah.
I wish I had one. Trust me. But no. I don't know, dude. This whole freaking dude running in 10 minutes in one direction. Oh, you're bound by it's like, seriously, you have an entire planet. They have to render they uh, can't render the entire planet to be open, or the resources. I mean, I don't even think PCs are able to render the entire planets open like
Well,
that.
not
Because
in a
that's
game like
just the
this that
way.
has as much detail as it does, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the way they handle planetary. Like they made decisions early on. Like Todd was, I seen in the interview where he's basically like, I don't know how we're going to do this. Like, is this even possible with our? Because they have different prior. You have to think about like every game has different priorities of like how they will handle things and what. Bethesda game where you have quests overlapping each other. Like you decide to do one quest and then all of a sudden you're like, screw that, I want to take over and get all the sandwiches and be a pirate or whatever. And you venture off and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I was doing that quest. Like the fact that you can do that and then you have the ability to put items like wherever you want, and all those systems interacting with each other, and then you put it on a planetary scale, like bro, they have to figure out some way
Yeah, and
to
it's
do it.
yeah, and it's like other games used, side shifting through a cavernous like crack and to load up the next screen. Well, when you're on an open field planet, you don't have that ability to do that. So this is what they decided to do, which to me is fine, as long as it's not, you're not sitting there for like 8 minutes how the old Skyrim and old Oblivion load screens are, because now we're dealing with SSDs, so it's quick. So if you're sitting there for 20 30 seconds to load up, I mean, it's not
I
that
also
huge.
think like the way it'll work probably is you'll just go to your mini map and then just choose the other location if you want to continue traveling to on the planet. So it'll just load the next area up that you want to go land at. So it's not like you can't go around anywhere you want. It's just you're, you know, in one run sprint fest or whatever. Like you want to stay somewhat close to your ship, but that's still really far away. Like 10 minutes, which was the shortest we've heard so far, in an all-out sprint jumping, is a long way if you put that in a radial, like from every point of in every direction. That's a pretty damn big area,
Exactly.
And to think we have that actually accessible, multiple points on every single planet in the game is pretty insane. I wonder, like the only question I have is more about the procedural generation stuff, about the places you've been to and how that's going to work with the places you put your bases, right? Like if you decide to put a base somewhere based on the way it looks, right? Because you think it's a great environment, if you go back to the same place, how similar will it be, right? Does that lock it in when you choose it as a base location, right? Or does it change every time? And somehow they make sure that the land underneath is still the same. Because I imagine you got to choose a flat landscape, right, to put a base. So I would assume all of a sudden your base isn't just going to be floating in a freaking water, and you go back. It's like, oh shit, like what happened?
Well,
but the procedural
The
generation
planet's
screwed me,
terraformed.
Yeah, I think what they did is if if you set up a base on any of the sectors that on a planet, that sector that is where the base is stays the same, but the other sectors change. What I'm
Right,
assuming
like basically if
could
that
very
would lock
well.
it in, or maybe there's only certain locations you can build a base. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Regardless, we'll
won't know
find out.
until
At the end of the day,
Thursday.
a lot of times with games, ultimately, I feel like there's a lot of attention pointed from people, what you can't do. instead
versus
of
what you can do.
instead of everything you can do, right?
Exactly.
And it's like and in a game like this, it's really try to put things into perspective, right? About how grand a scope this is. And really, we've never played anything quite like this before. That's the most exciting thing for me is about this game. You know, a lot of games are rehashes or like copycats or like genres, and it's like you just okay.
Well, I think a lot of
the
can't do stuff is coming up because people like leading up to launch was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. So like everyone's now they're like hearing stuff that they can't do when they originally wanted to do it. So it's like it becomes like a talking point because everyone hyped the game up. There's like, oh, I want to be this kind of player. I want to do this, and I want to go here. It's like
so we're learning our limitations before we get to play the game. When we would learn the limitations ourselves, right?
But really,
I mean, some of those limitations make sense. Like before, it was about the whole landing and taking off, but yet real spaceships like SpaceX are automated. It's not human control because it's better to have the computer do it. When it comes to the distance from your spaceship, think about the if it has no oxygen as far as an atmosphere. How far do you think you're going to be able to walk from your ship before you die type of thing? So it's like, I understand some people's disappointment in some of those things, but some of it, it's like, one, technology isn't quite there where, yeah, you'd be able to walk completely around the equator of a planet. But then again, are you going to have the oxygen supply for that entire time? Or are you going to like walk in that distance, get some resources, and then carry them back to the ship? So you traveled 40 miles away from the ship to get resources there to walk 40 miles back to the ship as opposed to just bring the ship closer to the resources. I don't know. Some of it just seems silly.
Yeah, there are specific landing points on planets, you know, so it just depends on where those landing points are from the resources. I'm assuming they already know where that is, so they will generate they'll have landing points near those locations. But if you are going to, you know, travel some distance, you know, are you able to fast travel back to the ship without needing to walk back with the items that you just dug up? If that's the case, then that'll be fine. Walking X amount of miles and then just fast traveling back with everything that you just did. You know, it's not that big of a deal, and it's a silly hill to these freaking gamers out here trying to die on this hill of, oh, you can't you know, there's loading screens. I mean, we haven't seen a game in this type of scale with thousands of planets that you can transverse all of it. It's just now we're finding out that to go to other sectors, you just have to load into it. And for them to be able to pull off this game, and if that's what they had to do, then that's what they had to do. That's just the design of the game. You know, it's not that big of a deal if that's just the case. I mean, it's not like you go in one sector and then you go back and then your spaceship is gone because the map generated something, you know, the landscape totally different, and it sunk in the lake. You know, something like that. I don't think that's going to be the case. So I don't know. We'll see when we get into it.
The planet thing really doesn't bother me too much because I was more wanting to do the space stuff in Starfield. So it's like that's where my biggest question is, and I don't know if we've got the answer to that. Is like, how does the area in between planets work? Like, can you only fly around the orbit of the planet, or is like
there's probably boundaries there too? I would assume, like,
yeah,
to an extent. I don't know,
because like it would be so cool to just like come upon something like halfway between like Mars and Earth. It's like this abandoned space station that drifted away or something. Like,
yeah.
If you can only go around the orbits of Earth and Mars, then it's like that's kind of
what I'm assuming is you kind of go into space when you leave the planet, and then you like spend time on your ship, right? And maybe you can just go from planet to planet, selecting that from the mini map right away without necessarily even having to do anything on your ship. But like, I think what happens if you decide to go into space, you can probably fly around within a large area, and then if you do want to travel to another planet, system
It's a
or
fast
whatever.
travel.
Yeah,
loading
yeah,
screen
you
thing.
basically just fast travel there, right?
Well, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys played Ever Space 2 yet, but when you do decide to fast travel, it's not technically fast traveling. You do like this like light speed, warp speed, like jump to the other planet, and things do come up on like, oh, here's a
Distress call like in between
Yeah,
the
correct,
systems. Yeah.
and then you can stop going it from you can actually slow down from warp speed and actually jettison to that distress call.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't think that's like how Starfield works. I think Starfield's more just like loading screen. You go from Earth to Mars, and it's like you just see your ship fly, and then you don't have any interaction.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at the dogfights,
But those are in orbits of stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I'm like, if you're in Earth and Mars is right there,
let's put that into perspective though. Like, how many days a Jasper Space Nut flying to Mars from Earth? How long would it take?
Like 3 months on the best, I think, and then like 6 months if it's like furthest orbit. So.
Okay, so if this was a realistic game, okay,
but also you have a fucking great engine on your ship, so like, I mean, that's like with our technology now. So like,
right, but how much faster can you travel without having to do like a light speed, something where it's gonna affect everybody on the, you know what I mean?
Like, I mean, this question is kind of posed in friggin' what's it called? What's the other?
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen. Goodness. In Star Citizen, where you can seamlessly go to each planet, we kind of see how that can work. And in my opinion, it's incredible technology. We were kind of talking about it.
Are the planets unrealistically close together in Star Citizen because of that, or like in No Man's Sky, you can just go, whoop, okay, I'm at the next planet. You know, it takes like a minute, right? Like, which is.
But my point to like that is like, even if like maybe your ship can go like 99% of the speed of light without having to engage its like warp drive, whatever the fuck, grav drive, or whatever. So like, if you can go that fast, and it's only like 5 minutes or whatever between Mars.
Yeah, it does have warp. It does have warp drive in Star Citizen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like. So
well,
like, if your ship go fast, like it doesn't, like you just control the speed of how long it would take to get there. The 3 months and 6 months.
I would rather after playing it, I would rather the cutscene.
Well,
like,
this is
it's cool at first, but then when you realize how much time it actually takes,
that's my point though. If like you could fill those in between areas with something, that would be cool. Like to experience, like you come up on something in between your journey.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It could very well. I mean, we have not experienced it. I'm assuming the people that are reviewing the game that's probably something that they're gonna touch base on, going in between planets when you are in the solar system. So I'm assuming that if there are a distress call that pops up in midst of traveling, will it allow you to there is a distress call, did you want to answer it? And then then it loads into that.
Yeah.
You know? So something like that could be a possibility. But again, we don't know until we play.
Yeah. And Pete didn't know the answer if you could go from planet to planet because he never tried, right? Like just flying directly without selecting it and stuff. We got a $5 super chat from Alvin. Appreciate you. Alvin says, we know for a fact there's lots of surprises in space, like derelict ships. Pete was talking about how he spent 3 hours in one he just came across. Yeah, but what we're saying is that maybe that's just an orbit of a planet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just an orbit of the planet.
Right, which is why, honestly, how I'm assuming it's going to work. Like
that's what I figured it will.
Right. You're probably going to fly. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be like you're going to be like stuck at like really low level. I mean, I'm saying that you probably can fly for a while and stuff. It's just like, I don't think they have it to where you just like, fly planet to planet, and you know, it's just it doesn't seem like it would work too well.
Like,
I don't know.
I guess another way to look at that is like, can you fly from the Earth to the moon without a loading screen to fast travel, or do you have to actually select the moon?
Because the moon is in orbit of the Earth, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you would think that'd be more reasonable distance to travel. Like
he said that if you see that moon right there, you can travel right to it. So I'm assuming that.
Yeah, but
there's
that's
a
like
possibility.
Select the fast travel point.
I mean, there's also fuel consumption and that.
Yeah.
But
well, he said they did say that they took that aspect out of the game. Yeah. So, what I wonder if they're going to handle it kind of like
running out of fuel was taken out. They still
running out of fuel. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, I wonder if they're going to handle it kind of like how Mass Effect, where you have a map that you're like, okay, here's the galaxy I'm in right now. Okay, here's space debris, here's a derelict ship, here's this, and you pick it, and then you fast travel to it. Are they going to handle it like that? Or if you...
I think you just jump to each star system, and then once you get to that star system, you have a map of that star system, and you can pick your planets.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they do have, like, a derelict ship, like, if it's within that... if it's in that galaxy... Are you able to stay in that galaxy in your ship and fly to those planets? It will probably take a long time.
I don't think so.
Or do you have to fast travel? That's what we don't know yet.
We'll find out in 3 days.
We will find out.
And regardless,
August 31st.
Does that matter to us? Like,
no, but it'd be cool though. Like,
yeah, there's lots of things that'd be fucking cool, right? Oh my god, I could think of a million things that'd be cool, but like, will it affect? How much of it will affect the way we play the game, right? Like, it seems like for me, in any of the kind of criticisms or questions or whatever, are a lot of times about stuff that I feel like isn't really going to affect the gameplay that much for everybody that is just playing this game, because it seems like the ideas for what they're designing is with the gameplay and keeping it fun in mind, right? Now, granted, I would love to just you do whatever the hell you want whenever you want, and you have a whole galaxy and you just fucking like can go anywhere however you want all the time, and every planet's fully loaded. You go there and you just like you can spend 8 days walking around in a fucking huge circle if you want to, like whatever, right? But regardless, like games have limitations, you know what I mean? And in order to make a game that looks like Starfield, that has everything that it has in it, that has those 1,000 sandwiches or whatever, I would imagine that you can't just like make the impossible happen, right? This game's already somewhat for me making the impossible happen, right? So will it be to the imagination that some of us had with the possibilities, right? Maybe not, but we're going to learn our limitations with it. And will those limitations really affect how we play? And that's the main question. And for me, I haven't heard anything yet or seen anything yet that answer would be yes. It's going to affect how I play the game. Right.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
You okay?
No, Game Rant just posted 2 days ago an article. Will Starfield be on PS5?
Oh yeah.
No.
They also posted a stupid one like, the first DLC expansion for Starfield's already in trouble. Like they just don't. It's random AI generated stupid articles that they write in order to drive clicks. Like, don't even pay that. If you were to rank the shittiness of websites, like as far as like clickbait and like ridiculousness, that's number one. Kotaku's number two.
I would say Kotaku's worse.
No, Game Rant's worse. Look at how many. Look at how many articles they post. Right.
I think Kotaku's just worse because they're just like they don't even like talk about gaming. Sometimes they're just like they just talk about random shit. Sometimes it's supposed to be a gaming site.
Well, yeah, but like that's what
I hate this game because of climate change.
Like, and stuff like that.
Have you ever actually went to I just had to go see what kind of articles were all on the website?
No, I don't.
So I actually went there once instead of just seeing the Twitter headline that caught on. Right? They post so many fucking articles, bro. It is insane. Like there is no thought. It's about just the process. It seems like is like it's all in the numbers of like one of these is going to catch on somewhere. Somebody will retweet this, quote tweet this, or make a big thing about it, right? So it's just all about how much bullshit can we put out there, and that's it. Like it is insane how many ridiculous articles they put on the internet. They're like the National Enquirer kind of games media. I would say, and they should just be discounted from any relevant actual conversation that has to do with any actual truthful thought regarding gaming, because that's the most ridiculous site I've ever seen. Anyway,
Yeah,
Kotaku would be number
seen,
2.
I seen I think it was on Maddie did a podcast, and Mr. Maddie Plays, I think, and he was kind of going into a topic I thought was interesting, where he was kind of stating that with Starfield, whether or not it gets good reviews or not, people are going to play it, which I agree. Like the importance of reviews, I feel like it, like people still will go to IGN and stuff to figure out if they should buy something. But I do think there's a point where a review will pass by that, and based on the hype alone, and in Starfield's territory, that people are just going to play it regardless. I'm in the camp where I hate these sites like Game Rant, just because how I've seen journalism in the past, and maybe it's always been this way, and then maybe I'm just getting older and I'm seeing these sites of how disingenuous they are and how much they want those clicks. But I felt like there was at least some standard in gaming journalism for how they approach different topics. I mean, how many IGN things have we seen in the past few weeks where they made a mistake in including Xbox, or something is always in some negative light towards Xbox? And I don't know. I feel like gaming journalism nowadays, it is very much what Matt was talking about, very much about clicks, rather than substance. And I don't know when that changed. I think when we started getting more content creators like this channel, we were talking about all this. We start seeing other YouTubers just kind of speak out. That's when like channels like G4 kind of died. That's when a lot of gaming journalism sites kind of went down. But in my opinion, I don't necessarily like going to review sites, because
let me put this into perspective real quick, just to put this should tell you guys what the site is. Okay, so I went there just now and I hit games news and their like little drop down tab, because they also do movie articles and all that stuff. So I wanted to see how many gaming news articles they ran in the last 24 hours. So I just went individually counted each one. Within the last 24 hours, they have produced 60 gaming news articles. 60.
Yeah, I'd say
Dang.
60 game news articles, right? Does that tell you about the integrity a little bit, about how can you know how big you'd have to be in the staff you'd have to be to actually check all that and fact check? It's like there's none of that.
Writers and stuff. Like
60.
I've seen it like when I look for jobs and stuff. It's like Game Rant hiring for a writer or whatever.
Yeah, and that's just for gaming news, right? That doesn't include the other stuff that they do. There's probably more than 100 articles written in the last 24 hours for one website. That's ridiculous, right? Like, it just tells you everything you need to know about it. So what their hope is one of them will catch on randomly. You know, they don't care what it is. They just want it to be attention getting.
Yeah, I'm looking at, I mean, it's owned by Valnet, so Screen Rant and a bunch of other companies are underneath Game Rant.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I think like a lot of the naysay stuff, you know, I agree there's questions, and we're all gonna, you know, find out what the limitations are, and so maybe some of them we were like, oh, that kind of sucks or whatever. But like, when I'm playing this game, I'm not gonna be looking at it being like, oh wow, all these things I thought I could do, I can't do. Oh no, I'm gonna be in freaking awe of everything I'm doing, right? And I think that's kind of the way that most of us are gonna be, and we'll wait and see what the reviews are gonna be like too, because we also get reviews in 3 days as well. So it's gonna be awesome to see that. But yeah,
It just feels like some people have lost their way of enjoying games, kind of thing. It's like, all right, like the whole notion of just traveling in one direction. Like, has there ever been a game other than like one specifically where you're supposed to just keep walking forward, like in a walking sim kind of thing? Has there ever been a game where that was like the first thing you wanted to do, as opposed to, hey,
Just
let me
walk
see what
straight.
it's like to steal a ship, or hey, let me
Minecraft.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You got to find where a good resource zone is, so you can just keep walking straight.
Duke Togo had a membership chat. I remember for 2 months. Appreciate you, Duke. Says, didn't Game Rant say all PS needs to do is show up? It was either them or Games Radar. I can't remember which one said that.
and
But
then
then
they said Spider-Man was all well. It wasn't a bad showcase because Spider-Man 2. It's like, did we
Yeah.
watch the same showcase?
well, what happened was
that Screen Rant?
that
Okay.
backfired in their face because PlayStation didn't show up. So like to their own showcase, like they just really didn't. Unless you're excited for the PlayStation Pulse, is that what it's called? The Pulse,
The
Portable?
Portable?
Or what-
PlayStation Porta Potty.
Portal.
Portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Whatever it's called. Unless you're excited for that thing. They revealed that there, right? So anyway, yeah, I think Starfield's gonna be incredible. And
I mean, this is FSP. We gotta talk about the Portal. You see the
yeah.
little logos on the side of the screen. We don't
have this. We don't
wait.
have them here this
Oh no,
episode.
we got Starfield.
Yeah,
Okay,
we got a
okay.
special Starfield overlay. Thanks to my beautiful wife Caitlin for doing that.
Looks sick.
Yeah, but we can talk about. I have been playing my Switch a little bit, guys.
What are you playing?
Vampire Survivors.
Oh my goodness.
It's perfect.
That's a perfect game for the Switch.
It is. I don't care
Yeah.
about the way it looks or anything whatsoever, and I just do the same thing. Does
it run well?
Yeah, it runs great. It's Vampire Survivors, right? I've been enjoying the hell out of it. At
What's
night.
the frame rate?
I don't know. Whatever it is. Like, I don't know. It's Vampire Survivors. I'm not sure. I haven't noticed any issues with it.
Cool.
But besides that, yeah, I definitely won't be getting a PlayStation Portal. Anybody here interested in it? No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not at this time. It's underwhelming. Like, okay, I can do remote play with my phone already. It would have made more sense for me if they made a PlayStation app so I can use my Steam Deck. That would make more sense because I can actually buy PlayStation games on Steam and have them natively. But yeah, too much sense. They want money, yada yada.
Yeah.
It's just like it just feels like so lackluster. Like they literally split the controller in half. You need a PlayStation 5 to do it. Like I don't think anybody wanted.
Have they
this.
shown the back yet? Is it just duct tape on the back? It's like there's like a little Android tablet in the middle, and it's like duct
The
tape. between
battery
a
life
broke-up
is
controller.
terrible. Like what I would want them to do if I were to consider investing in like a PlayStation portable is first off increase your battery life. My PlayStation 5 battery life is awful. And now that you're saying that this is possibly worse than that, like no, that's the first thing. And considering you're on a screen, and no. So first fix that problem. Second off, the fact that you need a PlayStation 5 to do it, I don't know. That's just like it's not for me. I want to be able, if it's portable, if it's truly portable, I don't want to have to rely on my Wi-Fi. If I leave the house, what will it do? Just shut off? Like no. Like I would want to play that wherever. If I go to my friend's house, whatever. I don't want to have my PlayStation 5 on just so I could play it portably. So I guess it works for some people if they want to have their PlayStation 5 on and they could just play in different areas of the house and they want to not be tethered to a TV, then cool.
Is
but
that
for
worth
me
$200 though? When you could do the same thing with your phone for less?
Not for me. Not for me. I mean, it's that's just my opinion. I
Honestly, like if like
decrease the
someone,
price.
if I was on my PlayStation and someone's like, "Hey, can I watch a TV show or some shit?" I'd be like, "Okay, I'm just gonna pick up the PlayStation and move to another fucking TV in the house."
Right.
It's a very niche case kind of thing. Like for those that want it, more power to you. I would want, even if it was at a $400 price point, I would want some stuff natively, be able to stream PS Plus premium stuff on there because that would make sense.
Yeah, you can't even do
Not as
that.
worried about the Bluetooth. I mean, the Bluetooth it would be so much better if Bluetooth was enabled on this thing, but
And
yeah,
then I
it just
hate
feels
that too.
mismatched.
But when you start to disable features that you know could work, but they disable it so you can buy their peripherals, goodness, like clearly the PlayStation controller, the PS4 could work to PS5. That's a whole other separate conversation, which we went over a million times. But it just goes to this philosophy where they want you to kind of just pay more and without actually investing in the quality of the thing. So definitely not
It
for
kind of
me.
remind me of Apple.
Yeah, slow down your phone on purpose so you can buy newer iPhones. They got in a lawsuit over that. It really does remind me of iPhones for sure. And some people in chat, I mean, you guys are agreeing. I really wonder who this is for. Maybe like I've seen, of course, the die-hard PlayStation people are like, yes, I'm getting this day one. I'm just like, okay. Like,
would y'all buy an Xbox one if the Xbox released the same device?
No,
The exact
not
same
like
kind of thing?
Yeah.
no, like
Although,
even an Xbox one.
well,
Like
here's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like the Asus thing. That's what I would want from an Xbox side, where it's its own device. It can run like Xbox games and run like Game Pass. Doesn't need to be tethered to a system. Like that's what I would want. If I'm truly buying a portable and I'm investing like $200+, then I would want it to be actually
like
portable.
Logitech G Cloud is kind of like that cloud-based streaming only type device, and it's like in the for a brand new one, I think it's like $350. But like you can take that anywhere and play, cloud gaming. And you do multiple other things, and then also do, remote play if you want to do it. Use it for remote play as well. So, or
And
you
it
could
has
just use your
speakers.
phone and get a backbone or a Kishi. Kishi
The
just
only
announced a
time-
new Apple one as well, so you don't have to get a backbone.
The only time I ever used Xbox Remote Play is I had like the flu and I was like super sick and I didn't feel like getting up and turning on my Xbox. So I was like, I'm gonna try to play on my phone, and then it was like dog shit, the quality. So I was like, okay, I'm done with that.
It depends. Like if you're in a really good quality spot, it can be good. But that's the thing is like it's even more hit or miss than like cloud gaming with remote play, like because you're relying purely on the access of a really good solid Wi-Fi, which is more limiting and depending on where you are, either in your house or especially somewhere else, right? If you're even in your house, and it's way less chance you're gonna get good enough Wi-Fi.
You don't need Wi-Fi for remote play on Xbox. That's the thing.
Well,
You
I'm
can
talking
use
about with the
yeah.
I'm talking about with that device, right? Like you're so
Yeah.
limited on connectivity. But yeah, remote play you can just use your cell phone on
Yeah,
connect to
and
it.
that's the thing that makes like remote play on Xbox a little bit easier for the fact that you don't have to go through a lot of hoops on like putting it on your Steam Deck or putting it on your ROG Ally or using your phone. Like in comparison, you can use or you can access streaming stuff as far as for Game Pass as opposed to remote or the PS Premium. You can't do the remote stuff. You were more than likely, if it was an Xbox device, you would probably have a separate app on the actual device to play YouTube because you can't do remote play. Like, let's say you want to watch a YouTube video on that PS Plus or the PS Portable, you can't. If you can't do remote access or remote play for YouTube or Netflix, you're not going to be able to have it on that device. Xbox would at least have enough sense to put it where, yeah, you can, even if you at worst case sideload the app, but you at least have that. So when you're not playing games, you can watch a movie or something along those lines. So it has multiple uses or more use than just, I'm, tapping into my Xbox from
That's
a distance.
the thing. They're about to get back into the phone market and sell you on phones again, so you can download YouTube on that.
Well, they need to get that snap feature on Xbox back. Like you just reminded me, Fuzzy, of like back when Xbox One first launched, they had Xbox Snap, and that was I love that feature where you're able to like put YouTube on the side while you're playing games and stuff. Like, yeah, that was cool. I wish they brought that back actually.
That was like that until I got 2 monitors set up, and then I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. This PlayStation Portable thing is like, I was having an argument with somebody on Twitter about it.
Twitter streets.
And because they were kind of like, I forget who posted. Someone posted something about it, and I'm like, first you need to have the PlayStation on always to even access the game.
Well, you can turn on the PlayStation remotely with that. It just has to be in like a rest
as
mode.
long as rest mode,
right?
And we know hopefully they fixed rest mode.
That's been fixed for a long
well, that's
time.
what.
Yeah,
We'll
a couple
just
years.
hope
It's
that's
not a problem anymore.
We'll see. But it's one of those things
Liquid
that
metal's going to drip out because of it.
I knew you were going to say the rest mode thing when I said that.
Exactly. But the thing is it has to be turned on. So even if it turns on by itself because it's in rest mode, it still needs to be on. So no one can utilize the PS5 while you're using this remotely if you decide to do that.
Right. That's the way remote play works.
And
right.
Exactly.
You're just streaming your screen to this device.
Yeah,
pretty much
exactly.
your TV screen.
Yeah. So if this is in the living room, if you're using on your main TV and you have family home, and you just had to watch TV or a movie or whatever or anything with the PS5, then you can't use it. But at the same time, it's like they were bringing up that PlayStation can't handle 3 SKUs, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, they did that back during the PS4, PS4 Pro, the PSVR, and the Vita, and they decided to stick with the VR instead of the Vita and killed it off. And from 2012 to 2019, for 7 years that thing was going. So it wasn't like it was a niche dead thing, but they decided to stick with VR, and look where VR is now. Barely, I think they might have cracked 1 million units sold for the PSVR 2. I think they would have been better off gotten a PSP like Vita 2 or something instead of this stupid cut a controller in half, put an 8-inch screen in between it, and it's a remote play thing because they can't handle 3 SKUs. Come on, that's a silly thing. There's so many games. Yeah, you can't play The Last of Us Part 2 on this thing, but you could very well play other games, like the smaller titles. If Insomniac or freaking Miracle Workers, they could have came up with a portable Spider-Man game for this thing. Like all these other like the indie titles that are put out.
I don't think these days they would have to make individual titles anymore for if they would have made a good.
Yeah, this isn't even like this isn't hardware. It's pretty much just a screen on a controller. Like in your streaming, there's no hardware.
Yeah. But I'm saying it'd been better off if they had a handheld
a new Vita,
Vita instead of this.
Yeah,
because
I think it'd be
technically
more appealing because you could do a lot more with it, right?
Because technically, this thing is not $200. Because if you want to listen to the shit, if you're out and about, and there's a lot of ambient noise, you gotta buy $200 earbuds that are the only thing that could work. It's like an Apple move on that aspect. So that's $400.
I think you're most likely going to be using this at home. So like most people aren't going to use this out and about because the Wi-Fi is going to be too spotty and here and far between. You're going to be able to use your hotspot if you want, right, to do that. But I think mostly this is going to be an at-home device for like if you got another room you want to play it in.
Yeah, but if you're at work, that's the thing.
Well, this is pointless when you're at work. Like this isn't for people at work. Like, that's what I'm saying.
No, you'd be surprised. I get a lot of people that ask they want switches because either security guards or something that they're able to use this at work. So there are
but
someone breaks in and steals the crown jewels.
Yeah, but like a lot of businesses work Wi-Fi isn't going to be good enough to support remote play on this, right? So that's what I'm getting at. It's Wi-Fi only. Like this, so like most people are only going to use this at home. The headset thing, you can use a wired headset also, but for that
can you use a wired headset?
yes, you can use a wired.
Then why was everyone getting all pissy because you had to buy $200
because you can only use their Bluetooth headsets.
You can't.
You have to use.
Yeah, you can't use your Bluetooth headsets or the ones you already have for your PlayStation that are wireless.
Yeah, but you can if it's wired,
audio.
then
The pulse audio, the 3D surround is where it becomes an issue. Like the wired headset is fine if you just want normal stereo, but if you want the pulse audio that they brag about, that's where you have to spend either the 150 on the new headset or 200 on the earbuds.
Yeah. So you can use a wired headset, but the fact that you can't use a wireless one or a Bluetooth headset is dumb, right? That's where the complaint is. Like the fact it doesn't have Bluetooth, right?
They saved money. They save money
by not doing that, and they're also hoping to sell more headphones.
They save money and pass the buck to you if you want to use a wireless.
Right. I mean, that's what they're doing. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a cash grab type device. They're making a lot of money probably on this. It probably cost them like $80 to make most.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even think that, to be honest.
Probably not. Yeah. And then because a regular DualSense controller is what, like $70, right?
Yeah.
So $70,
75.
Yeah, they're just basically
that screen probably only costs like $10.
Right.
Every Sony product that I've ever seen made is 50% off what retail lists at.
Okay.
That's always been the case since the 90s.
Yeah.
So if something's 500, it costs them nothing more than 250, and a lot of times it's even lower than 50% as far as their costs. Manufacturing costs, or not the manufacturer, but the retailer costs is where there's usually like a 15 to 25% gap.
Yeah. So they're gonna make probably about $70 on each one of these things that they sell at least.
So they're going to make about $70 in total.
Because one person's gonna buy it, that one sucker out there. Yeah. Well, we'll see how well it does. I have a feeling there's a lot of people that are gonna buy it. Just because it's a new thing.
It has Sony on it.
Yeah.
It's still not as bad as Apple wheels that they sold you on your Mac for $500. So
right.
True. No, but I'm wondering how many people buy this thinking that they can play PlayStation 5 games without having the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, this
remember how it's so confusing for people to have a Series X, a Series S. Well, this is a PlayStation Portable. Oh, I guess I'll get that instead of the regular PS5. Hey, this doesn't work.
They need
to spend $500. What the fuck?
They just need to make sure they market it properly. Like this is kind of like an extension of your PS5, right? Like that's
what they should market it.
They want.
Yeah, it does them more right to mismarket this than it does wrong.
They can always ask forgiveness. They can't ask to. They want to explain it.
Right. Yeah, Bobby Hawk says it has it labeled on the box. PlayStation 5 not included. Needs PlayStation 5.
Yeah, so just like
it also has 8K labeled on the box. So.
What the PlayStation does, or not this thing, right? Yeah, yeah. I think Xbox does too, don't they?
Does it?
Yeah,
I
think on the back,
it says 8K.
8K
video playback though. Something. I think Xbox says very small print video playback.
If it says they both need to take that off though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was the Tourist, right? You can play the Tourist at 8K. Wasn't that the game that had an 8K mode or whatever?
It was like one game.
Or you can play 6K.
Oh yeah,
the games are releasing today at 720p.
Yeah, I know.
we're talking about 8K.
What is it? Immortals 486p or some shit?
Yeah, on the Series S, it's like 480. It's like we're back in fucking 1995 now, guys. It's like what's going on? Now it is upscaled.
I'm starting to see your hatred for Unreal.
Yeah, you understand now, 3-bit. You get it? Yeah, like I've been saying this shit for a long time. Now, granted, I will say the upscaling technology is impressive because you can't tell as much, right?
I just think it's not ready yet. for.
Well, we're 3
optimization.
years into the generation. When are we ever? They've been marketing the same for 4 years. When is Unreal
Just
5?
wait till Unreal 6, bro. Unreal 6 is when you're gonna get it fixed.
The Unreal 4 still runs like shit. Like, what are we talking about, right? Like, Gotham Knights can't even do 60 frames on the consoles. Like, what is happening? Like, why does Unreal get hyped up so much every single damn time that one comes out and everybody's like, oh my God, I want every game to be made in Unreal Engine because it looks and sounds so amazing. The world is going to be changed. No more problems in games. Every game's going to be
by that.
800 frames per second. Every game's going to be 1000p or whatever, fucking 10,000p, whatever. It's just such horse shit. The marketing is all lies. It's lies. Developers can't figure out how to use this shit unless they're fucking all stupid. I don't understand it. It's not just one. It's not just one developer. It's not just one developer. It's like several different developers. And it's not just Unreal 5. It's Unreal 4. It's time and time again. It's just like the talk about like, oh my God, it's going to change the gaming forever. It's a fucking game engine, just like every other game engine that every other developer has, that they have their tools. And I will tell you, if something gets announced in RE engine, I'll be way more excited for it than if something gets announced in Unreal Engine 5.
Look as good.
Now, 3-bit.
They run great.
Now, 3-bit. You messed around with UE5.
Yeah.
Is it CPU heavy or RAM heavy?
I think like some of the features that they're using, like Immortals, they're using like Lumen, they're using all these like new UE5
I thought those were
tools.
supposed to make it easier for games to run these next.
Yeah, but is it RAM heavy or is it CPU heavy bound?
It's pretty CPU heavy, I think.
Okay. So
yeah.
So are they not utilizing the multiple threads, or are they? What is it that's causing UE5 to actually run like dog water?
I don't know. I would have to like really think about.
Yeah, like Pong was saying in the chat. So Matt's not going to be excited for the next Gears. We won't see the power of Unreal until the Gears of War comes out.
There's still a couple of games like right now. There's still a couple of games coming out that could be good test case studies. Immortals is unfortunately the latest UE5 game. I think Hellblade 2 is going to be a pretty good example of Unreal.
That thing's gonna be 30 frames per second. Also, I can tell you right now.
Yeah,
probably.
We'll see.
Yeah, but it's not
see.
a high action.
The only other Unreal game that I know that works is Fortnite is Unreal 5 that works decently. And then Layers of Fear, the remake of Layers of Fear.
Fortnite is their like test bed showpiece game, right? And it's a cartoon graphics. Let's just be real here, right?
There's not a lot. There's not a lot of like UE5 games out right now.
It's not the engine necessarily. It's just the way that the game's made, like, and how they optimize the game. That's what it comes back to. It's like,
I mean, unfortunately, I feel like they are using all these new features. Like, look what you can do! New awesome lighting. We can do MetaHuman for the faces. Look how fast we can mocap for the faces and stuff, and have all these beautiful things in there. And then they're like, oh wait, we got like 5 weeks to ship this game, and we didn't even start optimizing it. I don't know. I feel like devs' priorities are always backwards, but that's always
because I think
about.
Isn't
but no, wait. To Mav's point, like where I am understanding is the fact that so many games are coming out unoptimized. That's where I agree with Mav, where I'm just like, well, dang. Like I've used the engine. I think it's super impressive what you can do with it and everything. But Mav is right. There's a ton of games that are coming out super unoptimized for
two-part question there, 3-bit.
Yeah.
Now, would it be the cause of this is because of the 4090, where it can just the horsepower can push through the unoptimized game? And same with the AMD's 7950 or 7900X. would those two be why they haven't really optimized these games down to really utilize the game engine
I think they're just
and
relying too much on
the
upscaling
horsepower?
techniques rather
Yeah.
than actual proper optimization. Like I feel like
Okay.
they're like, oh, we have all this tech to properly
Counteract the performance hits of
Yeah.
Lumen and Nanite, and it's like,
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, we have these new technologies, Lumen and Nanite. We could just use that and not worry about
And these
upscaling. Yeah, I
and
feel like it's literally
and
that.
you also have to remember that Lumen and Nanite are features that came out after the hardware that we're using right now on Series X and PlayStation, so it's newer technology on older hardware. So it's like,
okay.
Yeah, I feel like
So
that's it. It's literally it's still a pipeline issue of where
Okay.
devs prioritize their time, but what it's doing is because it's still new tech. They're like, oh, we could just use this upscaling stuff. I feel like we're just in this weird cycle where we're getting new technology, but we're also getting like crappy optimization, and I
Okay.
hope it doesn't
Yeah.
continue.
so we
I-
could
Go ahead, Psycho.
I was going to say we could see possibly developers kind of like the coalition really optimize. If they optimize on the console level, we could see a game running on UE5 that show kind of precedents like, hey, this is what a game well optimized could look and run on these consoles, and then would that in turn make developers like, oh shit, okay, they can make this really run really good on these consoles. So that means we need to maybe spend a little bit more time optimizing our game, or are they just going to say fuck it, we don't care, people are going to buy our game and we're going to get whatever we can out of console. The majority is going to be coming from
Yeah, fix
PC
it later.
anyways. We don't care.
Yeah, fix it later.
The other aspect of this is like, yeah, like spend more time optimizing, but like a lot of these games have been delayed for like a year, year and a half, right? Like, so how much more time do they need to optimize and it still comes out like unoptimized? So it's like there's a core problem at the beginning of like what they're either their understanding of how to use it or the priorities that they have in place when using the technology, like from the get-go. Like
they shouldn't be putting in Lumen and Nanite if it's gonna fucking tank the performance. That's why you don't see that in like 90% of the fucking games that are out there, because it hits the fucking performance too hard, and then they try to come up with FSR and upscale, and then you get fucking 480p on the Series S. So like, you gotta just not use that shit in the game in the first place.
But that's what everybody was excited for Unreal 5.
Yeah.
It was all their selling points, right? So it's like that's why everybody wanted every game to be Unreal 5. Like, look at this nanite technology. It's amazing. It's going to change gaming forever. We're going to have so much detail, right? Oh, but mind you, I forgot to tell you guys, we're going to have to run your shit at 480p, okay? Sorry, I left that part out, okay? Besides that, it's going to be great. Now, what my issue here is that, and what I've been saying since the beginning of time, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's since the beginning when we're talking about Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what engine it's in, right? I just want it to look and play well, right? I want it to have great performance. And the conversation that annoyed me for the longest from many in the community was like buying into this hype about, oh, I want every game to be in Unreal. Like, I want Halo to be made in Unreal. I want this to be made in Unreal. I want this to be made in Unreal because, oh my God, look what Unreal can do. And yet you finally start having these games come out in Unreal, and it's like they run worse than the other games. And this is after a generation where we've had several problems with Unreal Engine 4 games, and still do to this day. If a game still launches in Unreal Engine 4, a lot of times those are the ones that have problems as well. So like, yeah, the marketing speak and the tech is cool, and I get that, but it all at the end of the day comes down to how the devs use the tools. And that's the same with every single engine that's out there. So usually we get the best results when a team is ultra familiar with the engine that they're working with And we have a lot of first party engines where these devs have done a lot of work and worked on them themselves. And we don't, a lot of times, like, pick apart, oh, I wish this game was made in Unreal, or I wish this game was made in Unreal. But sometimes people do. If a game has a little bit of problems, oh, this would be way better if it was in Unreal, right? But yeah, where's the proof in that, right? Like, it comes at the end of the day, it's the talent of the developers and using the tools that they have, regardless of what engine it is, right? And we see that time and time again. I don't care if it's id Tech. I don't care if it's Creation Engine. I don't care if it's RE Engine. I don't care if it's whatever it is, as long as it performs and runs well. Like, I understand there's more familiarity with Unreal and all that kind of stuff, but where's the proof in that with these games also? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you know?
but you also have to look
at the studios, because look at Coalition. They're like one of the few that actually don't seem to have a problem.
If it's not
Unreal.
Coalition or Epic, are you going to have faith if in a game's announced for Unreal? If it's a multiplayer online co-op game, especially, like,
I mean,
it depends.
Developers
fucking BattleBit came out this year. It looks like Minecraft, but it was popular. It was made in Unity, and it runs at fucking 3,000 frames a fucking second. So it's like people love it. Yeah. It's about how fun the game is too. It's like if you make a fun game, no one's gonna care the way it looks.
But you also have to look at, like, example.
Depends on the kind of game, though, too.
Like,
Jasper.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got to make a fun game.
Yeah.
Well, like, if it's like Hellblade, people are gonna care how that looks, right? So, like, if that came out looking like BattleBit, that'd be a problem. You know, that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
If you look at, like, look at the PS3 and with the tools, with brand new technology, and it took them almost towards the end of their generation for developers to actually start hitting games looking great on that thing. So, and same thing with these new RDNA architecture consoles. It's going to take a little bit of time, and they haven't really been able to utilize these their engine.
Let's put in the RDNA 3 features now with FSR 3 and all that stuff, so they can't get used to it.
Well, it's the thing that what we're at now. We're at a older hardware already, because we already our RDNA 3 going into 4, so we're almost 2 generations behind.
Sounds like we need a mid-gen refresh.
No.
Well, they're not doing that. So I'm thinking
they need to. I think the base layer is with the Unreal problem is they need to optimize some of the heavier like features like Lumen and Nanite. Once they optimize those at a base level engine, then it'll be all right. But until then, it's
going to take time to get whatever the hardware being able to optimize that with their engine, and then utilizing those tools. And it's the same thing with UE5. They have to trying to get these consoles really optimized, and again, it just comes down to what you said before and what 3-Bit said. It's just optimization.
It's optimization, and also something I just thought about was like Unreal Engine has, especially 5, has so many tools inside of the program that is just naturally unoptimized. But it's easy to let's say you want to build out a level, you want like waterfalls and sparkles and stuff. You could just drop it in there and it looks great, and you're like, wow, that looks AAA. And I just got some assets from either the UE store or even the way you set up scripts. It's like you have the blueprint system within Unreal Engine, which is like a visual scripting thing. Now, if you can code an entire game just using like blueprints if you really wanted to, but it's like unoptimized code at the same time. Like you could write if a character is like walking straight and you're just like, okay, I have 10 pages of code within the visual scripting just for him to walk straight, and that just takes up resources. Or I can do it in like C#, whatever, like if player moves W on keyboard, he walks straight. There's just like little things like that where I feel like it can get unoptimized pretty quickly if you are not really paying attention to how to properly optimize and the way you compile shaders and stuff. I didn't want to get too nerdy with like with like what could possibly be going on, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like we shouldn't have to worry about why these problems are happening. We should just be like, this game is optimized, it's fun to play. So that's where I completely agree with Mav. I do think eventually it'll get there. But right now it's not. There's a ton of games that are coming out from Unreal Engine.
I think
what did From Software use? Is they Unreal? I don't know what they use for Armored Core.
I think they use their own thing. Or
but like that 1440p on the Series S and 4K 60 on a Series X.
Optimized.
Like, right, that's
Some
what my
teams
point
are just
is.
better at optimizing.
But we don't even know what engine it is, so because we don't care, because it's just an optimized game. That's my point. It looks great.
Yeah.
It runs great. Does it matter if it's Unreal Engine 5 or whatever other engine that they're using? No, it doesn't, because we just relish in the amazing gameplay and great optimization that they have. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I think
some would say it looks
once,
like a 360 game though.
I think once they use AI with some of these with coding, I think they'll get in a better place. But it's if they want to utilize AI with that.
That's where I disagree. I think AI it creates a safety net and a problem where you don't have to know how to make games and stuff. And like with the FSR, like games are coming out now where they rely on AI technology to.
They're trying to
play and
speed
run
up the process. That's the thing. They're just trying to speed up the process so the games can come out quicker. And then instead of taking 6 years to make a game, and these only really big budget studios can really do it. So it's a double-edged sword on, will it happen or will it not?
That was like the conversation with Larian, where people were essentially saying like, don't put us to the standard of Larian, because they actually shipped a good game and with like features. Like, don't put us to that standard. That's too hard. Like,
what engine did Larian use? Nobody even knows, right? Like, none of us know, right? Because it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Like, if it's great and the tools that they use produce a good game. It's like, it's at times I think with the tech talk and stuff, like as gamers, like we overanalyze a lot of that kind of thing because we're interested in how games are made and stuff. But like, it doesn't, like, at the end of the day, I could give two guys a hammer, right? One guy may have been building houses his whole life or whatever and is a master craftsman, and he can like be a designed perfectly framed structure and everything is and like 3 times as fast, and the other guy's got nails like halfway poking out everywhere, and like it's like wobbly, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's
and the next day he brings a nail gun.
It's the same fucking tool, right? But like at the end of the day, it matters who's using it and how they're using the tools, right? Yeah, I understand better tools make things easier and better for people. But if you fucking give an idiot, like, if you give an idiot a nail gun, it's not necessarily always going to turn into a good result, right? Sometimes it's going to be accidents.
Will be in the wall. It just
turns into an emergency room visit.
Yeah, or if it's rushed, or if it's sloppy, or if the designer of it like says, "Hey, you need to go put nails there, or you need to go do stuff over there," and it's like, well, should I have done that? Like, it's maybe not the right place, right? Like, it's just. If it works, it doesn't matter what it was that made it.
That's what I'm saying. You got to make your games fun, and that's like really all that matters. If you make a fun game, it's like no one cares the way it looks or runs.
The creation engine too. Like, some people were like, "Can you please use Unreal for Starfield?" This was super early on. They're like, "This outdated engine, yada yada yada." Like, for one, the creation engine, the way it's built for Quest and all that, like the tech is already there. You keep expanding upon tech. Like, you don't need to jump to a whole new engine. You can always improve said engine. Like Call of Duty is in the id Tech engine. That's
and every engine has their strengths, right? Like, you can kind of tell a RE engine game, right? Like, it's got a certain look or feel to it. You can tell an Unreal game kind of. It's got a certain look and feel to it. Now, some of them hide it really well, like Hi-Fi Rush. Great. Like, they did amazing, but it's also a cartoony graphics-based game. So it's probably, I would imagine, a little bit easier maybe to get that running really well, right? As opposed to something like Immortals, that's got a lot of detail and higher quality graphics and stuff like that. So it's like, it just depends. Like, I've always been an advocate. I want there to be lots of different engines because I feel like different engines allow different developers to do different things. And that's why we're getting a game like Starfield. The Creation Engine is capable of doing different things than Unreal Engine or RE Engine or id or whatever. So the hype about people wanting everything to be Unreal is just, I don't know. That's my main backlash with it. I don't care if Unreal, if it's utilized properly, is amazing capabilities, right? And
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what
like Arkham Knight is still one of the most beautiful looking games. I wish it was optimized, but it's still one of the most beautiful looking games I've seen.
I can't wait to see what Coalition does with it because they've proven time and time again to be able to do the most with that engine, right?
And I think that's maybe a problem right now, where it's like a lot of devs, like they got bought in by that, like, oh, just make it an Unreal thing. It's like maybe your game that you were wanting to design didn't fit that engine. Like maybe you should have went with another type. So
yeah, for sure.
Like all these open world games that have trouble with co-op,
like
right?
Fucking Jedi Survivor and fucking Gotham Knights. Like maybe you should have looked at something else.
Yep. Something that's a little bit better for that kind of system. I mean, the best open world style combat like game that I've played in Unreal so far this generation is Dead Island 2, but even that had to be broken up into zones, right? It's the smaller areas, but that runs really well and the graphics are great, so they did good with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of just like different Unreal games that's come out over a few generations and that has been optimized very well. I mean, I keep thinking about WB games, and none of them have gotten patches that I could think of. There's a lot of games made in Unreal. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was an Unreal that ran pretty well. Of course, Gears, Atomic Heart. Someone said in chat, Atomic Heart. I can't remember how that ran.
Yeah, Hellblade. Hellblade got several updates though too. Like, I don't remember the original performance of it when it originally launched. But on Series X it runs great because it was originally a PS4
that free
game,
4K like 60. Sea of Thieves is that Unreal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I
Unreal
forgot
Engine
built like technology.
If you're building a cartoon-based style graphics game, use Unreal Engine. It's proven time and time again. It got Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and graphically, I would say honestly that it is a showpiece type engine for graphics if they do it right. Hellblade has proven that in the past as well, so we'll see what they do with Hellblade 2. I just don't have a lot of high hopes for like native resolution or frame rate because of it. We'll see. Maybe Ninja Theory can
be fucking FSR upscaled, so it's gonna look like fucking shit.
Maybe Ninja Theory will be able to prove that they're kind of up there with Coalition and using the engine, right? So we'll see. I don't know. But regardless, Hellblade 2 is gonna be amazing.
Some new. I mean, Starfield hit the top of the Steam charts.
Yeah, I can't see week 35, but week 34 it was number 3. I don't know. I
someone post number 1, but I don't know what that.
I didn't.
From.
I have not signed in yet, so I can't see who if they took over. But I saw a couple people in chat saying Starfield took over number 1 on Steam.
What was previously number 1?
Baldur's
Gate.
For purchases or whatever.
Yeah, for this week, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it was Counter-Strike, and then Starfield.
Right Alvin said it's number 1, and I trust Alvin, so it's number 1.
Numero uno.
I mean, it's been in the top like 5 or 10 like for the past like 3 months.
Pre-order.
So.
Does it tell you how many? Is there like a number that you can look up?
They have a thing where they show us like it's been in the top whatever for like so many weeks. I forgot.
Yeah, but does it say like a number of users that have
Sales.
pre-ordered it?
No, there's no like number for pre-orders. The only time you get numbers is by player count on Steam.
Okay, so we'll find out with the overall player count.
But I mean, like, not everyone's gonna be playing at the same time, so like.
So they only have concurrent players. They don't allow you to see like overall players or individual players. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll find out. There's been a big question of what's going to sell more, Starfield or Spider-Man 2. And I don't know. I'm thinking that because of Steam and stuff, like,
well, logically, I would say Starfield because it's on multiple. It's platforms. On PC and it's on Steam or it's on PC and Xbox.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2 is only on PS5.
Yeah,
so we saw
Spider-Man is going to sell very well.
The other aspect of this is like the Game Pass effect. Like how many people are just going to play it on Game Pass? It doesn't count as a sale, right? It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like for me, a player's a player because you're still paying for the game one way or another.
A lot of people are we're gonna know like on the 31st because people are buying. If people are playing on the 31st, then they bought it.
I would say this weekend would be is going to get your max concurrent on Steam, like Saturday or Sunday. That's when you'll see your highest concurrence.
You think even before the official release? Because this is only for the premium edition this weekend. The September 6th would be.
Yeah, the 6th will probably be the highest. This weekend, I think will rival what Baldur's Gate maximum or what their highest was for concurrent. I think this, crests over 1 million pretty easily. I'm also thinking it gets to 2 mil, which I don't know if that's a record or if that comes close to a record, but I think this thing gets close to 2 mil on Steam.
The highest on Steam is PUBG. It got 3.3 million back in the day. And then I think it's Counter-Strike, which is like 1.8 or something.
I feel like it'll hit 2 as well.
Yeah, if you remember Fuzzy, Forza Horizon 5 hit 2 million player count before it went live.
Yeah,
that was player count. That wasn't concurrent though. Like,
but that means that 2 million people bought the $50 expansion or the premium edition to play early access, and that will let us know how many people actually did that. They're not. So if we already get,
but you're not going to see that in Steam, and Starfield won't have a player leaderboard counter, so you won't be able to see that. Right. The only people who are going to know that's Microsoft, and they usually only give player numbers now. They don't give sales numbers.
Yeah, they're going to probably say something within the first 2 weeks. It's like, oh, we've already reached 10 million. Like, I honestly believe they'll reach 10 million in the first 2 weeks.
Which, for me, the player count's the right way to go anyway. Like on this, because of Game Pass, like, you have 30+ million subscribers to Game Pass that are going to either buy the premium edition, not buy the game at all, or play it in Game Pass. So, like, the player count is the way to determine the success from there. Plus, also you have your sales from the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox PC as well, plus also Steam, right? So there's going to be a lot of people. How many players will Spider-Man 2 have concurrently on Steam this year?
Zero.
Exactly. Exactly. But now it will be will this be the highest attach rate game for PlayStation 5?
Yeah, I mean, this is all not all they have.
More than Ragnarok? I think.
Ragnarok.
I mean, out of first-party games, yes.
Ragnarok did only 3 million in that first week?
Let me see.
Was it week?
Was oh no, Horizon got shafted again this year, didn't it? Or last year?
Yeah, because of Zelda.
Yeah.
How many? I don't know what
sold
Ragnarok.
5 million copies in its first week. Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah, so 5 million.
Spider-Man is going to sell very well. Like Spider-Man, like a lot of people love Spider-Man as the IP.
Casuals will play Spider-Man over God of War. So we're going to see a lot. We're going to see the casuals.
Like 6 million, 4 million. I'm going with 4.
I'm gonna say they see, like, and I know I saved this note somewhere on Twitter at one point, but I think Spider-Man sells 10 million in the first 2 weeks, and then you see like almost 20 million players in what do you call them? in Starfield in the first 2 weeks. So 20 million players, some purchased, some, Game Passed it, versus 10 million, that purchased it, kind of thing. I think that's a fair comparison within the first 2 weeks. Now, long term, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Starfield doubles the sales of what Spider-Man 2 does in the long term. So after a year or two, even after PC release, it's going to be double what Spider-Man's looking at.
You think Starfield's going to be that transcendent type game?
Well,
that,
you also have to think Bethesda will sell you 15 different versions of Starfield in 10 years, and Sony's going to sell you maybe 4 versions of Spider-Man 2 in 10 years. So it's like,
yeah, there'll be the remaster, the director's cut remaster, the remix remaster, yeah.
And the PS6
remake of the remaster for Spider-Man 2.
Remake.
Yeah.
PS6 remake.
Well, eventually Spider-Man 2 will release on PC, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, I would expect them to kind of do what they did with Spider-Man 1, which only came... when did the how long did it take for them to do the remaster of Spider-Man 1? 2 years?
2-3 years?
Yeah, it was 2 years.
I anticipate whenever they do the PC release for Spider-Man 2, they'll probably do like another a remaster or something. They just love doing remasters, bro. They already did. They did a remaster of. Well, the only thing is I could say is they did have a generation leap between PS4 and PS5, so it gave them an excuse. But they will have the PS5 Pro potentially, right?
I mean,
it's
Xbox
within
has
5 years. Like they do remasters in 2 to 3 years compared to like Bethesda does them in like 4 and 5 years, and then it's like, oh, here's an update with all the DLC, but
that you
it's
get
usually
for free.
after like a 5 or 6 year span.
Except Skyrim, they fucking sold you Skyrim 100 fucking times.
Yeah,
they never gave you free updates for Skyrim.
Yeah, but when Skyrim Anniversary hit, that was free update for all the bells and whistles, unless you wanted the Creation Club content. If you owned Skyrim, you got the Anniversary Edition, all the upgrades like visually and enhancements for free. The only thing is if you wanted to buy the Creation Club extra stuff, you had to pay for that.
And they're gonna bundle Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, it's already from day one. It's already bundled, just like Ragnarok was.
Yeah, it's gonna sell very well.
Well, actually, the PS5 that has the Spider-Man faceplates and controller does not have the game.
What?
That's pretty sick.
Does not have the game.
So if you get the actual PS5, you don't get the game. You just get the controller and the plates. I know you can buy the plates and the controller separate, but I thought the bundle automatically came with the game.
No,
You're talking about the PS5, like the
Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I have not seen any wording that it is the actual game that's with it. It's just plates and controller because they're limited edition.
I'm gonna look it up right now because it's just on their website.
Yeah, I just did. It's $600 and it includes a digital copy of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, I didn't know. I didn't read any of the literature for.
So you just stated as a fact that it didn't include.
Yeah,
but I said I didn't.
As soon as he did that, I'm like, okay, I'm Google.
Yeah, it's like what? What are you talking
I said I didn't see it.
Yeah, it doesn't include, but it doesn't include the Spider-Man copy of the game.
Yeah,
but I didn't see.
You see the loophole?
I know Jim is very scammy, but dang.
When Psycho says something like that, it's like we go to fact check mode immediately.
Yeah. Hey, I got my training from Jim Ryan. He taught me well.
You're supposed to upsell them the physical copy along with the bundle, so
exactly
they'll have something to put on the shelf and then the digital copy installed on.
Correct. So you have the physical, so you can stay. Look at me, I went physical, but you have the digital copy because it's easier.
So in Psycho's world, you'll be owning a PlayStation Portal with no sound, and trying to play. You'll get the PS5 Spider-Man edition with no game.
Yeah, they're like, man, you're really selling a lot of these Spider-Man games with these Spider-Man 5 consoles. I know, it's an amazing thing I'm doing.
Super chat.
Jim Ryan give you like the Employee of the Month award. Be like,
yeah,
dude, thank you so much. You're doing the PlayStation's work.
Game Shark with $5 says the thing with Skyrim is that the newer versions were for the people who never bought it and wanted to experience it with all the updates and add-ons. Yeah, so you could buy it separately, or if you already owned it, you got the updates for free, unless you wanted the Creation Club content. Then you paid for an upgrade price, if you wanted that. But yeah, everybody that owns Skyrim got to take advantage of all the free updates, which never got reported on correctly.
5?
No. Oh yeah, 3 times for us. But we were originally on 360, then on Xbox One, and then on on Series X. But was the Xbox One a new release, or it was a new release?
Yeah, I bought it on every Xbox and then on PC.
I gotta say though, the first week on Series X, so it was like, or the first couple weeks, it was like $19.99, I think.
Yeah,
that wasn't bad. Like, there's so many games I wish they would do that now and have an upgrade price for that.
You know how many people said that's not too bad, and then they just keep doing it.
Well,
it's like, oh,
that one's an impressive update. If you play GTA 5 now, like, and look, it runs amazing. The graphics are great. They put a lot of work into it. If you charge me $20 for something you put that much work into, I will begrudgingly pay it if the game is good enough. I will hope Arkham or like Rocksteady does that with the Arkham games. I would kill for that.
Yeah, you go play it on Switch, bro. $60, get all of them.
If it took me if it took me paying $20 to get them to update Red Dead Redemption 2 to have that performance update and all that stuff, I would gladly throw cash at them, right?
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is you're getting. So in some sense, I'll slightly defend them because of how good the game is on Series X and PS5.
Yeah, but you could also get a $50 port of Red Dead Redemption 1.
And that's where that's what we can't accept, right? The $50 port of like that, and then also what they did to San Andreas.
Yeah.
And that whole GTA trilogy situation thing. Like, that shit's like, no. That's not worth it because they didn't put the work in. It's not good, right? So anyway.
Makes me sad thinking about it.
There is a game, another Star game that's came out this week, and some people are saying this might be the indie darling of the Game of the Year candidates now. And Psycho knows all about this game because if you're all are new here, or you haven't been listening, Psychonauts is actually most anticipated game this year, and not Starfield. He's actually going to wait to play Starfield until he finishes this game. Unless anything's changed, and that's Sea of Stars.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Sea of Stars is sitting at a 90 now on OpenCritic. It has dropped a little bit as to what it was earlier.
It was 95 earlier.
Yeah, more reviews came out. It's sitting at a 90. Very, very high quality scores. It is a traditional JRPG style game, which I'm actually looking forward to trying this. It's in Game Pass day 1 as well. So if you have Xbox, you will be able to play it if you have Game Pass. But it's getting lots of 10s, getting lots of 9s. The lowest score I've seen, I think, is like PC Gamer gave it like a 79.
Now, is it a good game or is it like an emotional game for like the critics? Like, if there's like some emotional impact, then I could see it get into the Game of Years. But if there's no like emotion, it's just a good game, then I don't see it.
I think it's a love letter to the genre.
Yes.
Is what
classic 1990s RPG.
Because usually all those indie shit, it's like, oh, it made me cry at the end of the game, so it's Game of the Year. It's like, that's the kind of the shit that gets the Game of the Year for indie stuff.
They usually get one indie artsy fartsy, as Jasper says, in the game awards. But dude, this year is so packed. I don't think it'll fit this year. This is the first year.
It'll be hard for it to. There may not be an indie game representative this year. You're saying?
Yeah,
it might not.
Well, what if Silksong hits?
We'll see.
Is Silksong supposed to hit?
They've gone dark. I'm thinking it's still 2024 at this point.
I forget what they said at the showcase, the last showcase. They were at the opening night live, right? I think I remember seeing Silksong there.
I don't think we've seen Silksong for like a year now.
I thought we saw it at the opening night live presentation.
Gamescom?
No.
Yeah,
we saw it at Xbox showcase again.
Yeah. It might have been in the Game Pass reel.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. That's it though. That's just press play on the video there, Jeff. So
I'm gonna look it up. Hollow Knight.
Apparently, it was there.
Yeah, I thought it was there.
Sea of Stars, just to let people know, it releases tonight at midnight.
Yeah, it was there. It was there.
August 29th at midnight. So
How dare all of you say I was wrong?
I didn't. I checked. I
we
said
said that we didn't see it. Didn't say you're wrong.
Oh my god!
Don't put words in my mouth, all right?
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance we'll see. I have a feeling too that'll get pushed to 2024, unless it's like a December game.
Where did you see that this is here? Because everything I'm seeing is saying it's not here at Gamescom.
All right.
Was it last Gamescom? Like last year's Gamescom?
No,
I don't know.
I
thought it was
Mav,
at the,
watch Mav looked at last year's.
All right,
Hey,
hold
it's
on.
right here.
No, I thought it was at. I thought I saw a Silk Song in the opening night live at some point.
Wait.
Okay, never mind. Maybe it wasn't there.
What? 3-bit, you just like mess with my emotions, bro.
I mean, I've seen this thing, this article, and it's like showing all these different games, and it says like Hollow Knight, Silk Song. Then I scrolled up to the top, and it says speculation. So
that's Mav's video he made about this being a Gamescom.
I'll put a link in the chat. People can.
We saw it. We've seen it somewhere recently. I can't. Maybe it was at the Xbox show. I don't know. But besides that, like, the last, I guess we've heard of people saying it's delayed past the first half of 2023 or whatever. So, don't know when it's coming, but hopefully soon. But that one would have a chance if it did come this year to get it in that. What is this website that you shared?
I don't even know.
Okay. Anyway, that is that is the that's one I think could have a chance to get there if it hit this year. But I think you're right, 3-bit. Like this year's got so many heavy hitters. It's going to be hard for anything to really.
Do you guys think Armored Core will be up there?
No.
There's a lot of games. I don't even.
There's so many games that got in the 90s and stuff this year. It's crazy. I think Starfield will probably.
Starfield, Zelda. I think Star Wars is probably going to be there. Jedi, but I don't think Star Wars or Survivor should be there. Like I think that they should look at broken games, like and see that there was a big. There. I think Hogwarts should be there too, but I don't know if it will, just because the political stuff around it and But I think they should take a look at like how broken games are nowadays and like the community reception of that. And I don't think they're going to do that. So
I would have thought Diablo 4 would have had a chance, and maybe it still does, but like they've kind of like dropped the ball a little bit with the season 1 and the updates and stuff like that. So they've lost a lot of players there.
Baldur's Gate will be there.
Baldur's Gate will definitely be in the Game of the Year contention.
That'll be
like
there.
That's that.
Diablo, I don't know now. But they have like a Baldur's Gate and Diablo up there.
Yeah, two different kinds of games.
2 different games.
Yeah.
Okay. So Baldur's Gate, Diablo 4, Starfield, Zelda. That's already 4.
Mario Wonder may have a chance.
Maybe. I mean, if they pick one Nintendo
they're gonna have a
it's probably
game,
going to be Zelda.
Spider-Man.
I don't think he put Spider-Man in it because I think people are too like Spider-Man's like Spider-Man now. It's like who the fuck cares? Like it's like a Call of Duty you get one every year. It's like that's not gonna be a Game of the Year. It's like
they usually have like at least one PlayStation.
I think Spider-Man 2 will be in there.
I think it will, but I don't think it should.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But if you were to replace it, put Hogwarts in there.
Did Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, get nominated? I don't remember it getting nominated.
Did it?
Have no idea. Probably.
I don't know.
Original Spider-Man?
Yeah. Now I think Final Fantasy will probably get a nod over, even though
it has
it's
a Game of the Year edition.
PlayStation.
So
yeah.
Yeah, I think the original Spider-Man did have a Game of the Year.
Yeah, it got nominated for
Game of the Year nomination.
Okay.
I don't just say one.
I don't know which.
That was 2000.
Should have been for 2018.
Yeah, it's Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, so Red Dead probably won that year.
Yeah,
God of War got 2019, and then 2020 went to The Last of Us Part 2.
And then there's an article that says Marvel Spider-Man was completely snubbed at the Game Awards, of course. So,
yeah. So it's tough to say what's going to be there. I mean, we still have lots of games to come out. Like, would this be a year like
God of War was 2018? Oh, God of War won it that year, actually.
Could a fighting game make it like this year? Street Fighter 6 or Mortal Kombat 1? You know, like.
Oh shoot, I forgot about Mortal. No.
Based on
fighting games will
Achilles,
never
probably not.
Yeah, they'll just have their own category. Which will be a highly looked at category this year, right? Racing games like Forza Motorsport's going to run away with that for this year. Oh, they got such a heated battle with Crew Motorfest for a racing game of the year.
Oh, you mean Horizon at Home?
What about GTVR? That has to get there.
Oh, isn't that just is that a standalone or is that just an update?
I don't know.
That
was an update.
If that is put in there, that is some like Keeley horse shit if I ever seen it before in my life.
Oh, Smurf Kart, the one game we had last week.
Oh yeah.
You better never Smurf and bring up that game. Oh, I did look up online later that night, chat, after my like weird Smurf rant. And I did see that the game has no Smurfing online. What the Smurf?
Oh,
like how you gonna release a Smurfing kart racer without any Smurfing online? What the Smurf? Smurfing assholes.
Smurf.
Well, they usually do like racing and simulation. So I don't know if there's any flying games or whatever that came out this year.
So it's only 4-player local co-op. That's sad.
Yeah. They're releasing the split screen mode on Series S later.
Yeah.
No.
If you had a Portal, you could play it split screen, maybe.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, if you have the Xbox Portal.
Split screen is breaking it into.
It's doing it before Baldur's Gate. Let's go.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Sea of Stars. Are you excited for it, Psycho? Okay, moving on. All right, 3-bit, are you going to play this game?
Are we doing Tidbits?
I'm sorry, what game?
You lost your chance. We're going to go to Tidbits.
Okay. Yeah,
I didn't know I had a chance.
This was going to be your opportunity to talk about how hyped you are for Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars is going to be amazing, dude. It's coming out at 29th at midnight. That's in 9 fucking minutes. So let's go, motherfuckers. Play that until Starfield. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, how are we forgetting about this indie darling coming out this year? This is fucking game of the year right here. It's coming out tonight or tomorrow.
Bullshit. No, fucking bullshit.
Oh, I'm gonna run the Tidbits promo time. Let's go.
Tidbits.
Oh, fuck that bullshit, dude.
All right, this is Tidbits, our weekly segment where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week. And first off, what game do we have first here, guys?
Why do I hear Psycho's watching?
What are you watching, Psycho?
Nothing. I was scrolling through Twitter and I accidentally hit the.
Oh, okay.
All right. Can you hit play, Jasper?
Yeah, it's Goodbye Volcano High, indie game of the year.
Oh my god! I've been looking forward to this one.
PlayStation exclusive, though.
It's on PC as well. I think. Yeah, it's on PC.
It's not playing for me. I'm gonna leave and come back.
So, big day. Class president's speech at the assembly. In light of the whole space rock potential demise of civilization thing.
Okay, so this is
something feels off.
What's the theme?
There you go.
Using this year to
$30.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
PS4, PS5, and
You
PC.
okay? You've come into this year kind of intense.
So is this like Life is
with
Strange?
the band stuff?
Where it's like.
Band is important.
Life is Strange with music.
Why did she have to just leave? I said it was an emergency.
No, it's
Did?
like Degrassi
It is.
High.
To you.
Is he smoking? Is that dinosaur smoking? He was.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
Nice.
What the heck? This looks like it has a lot of. They put a lot into it.
Yeah, they've been
You
making
know
this for a
it
long
means
time.
like nothing is different. Like to me, everything feels different now.
I think the
We've
announced
always
trailer
done
was
what
from
you
3
wanted
years
to do,
ago.
and that's fine.
Dang.
But there's only so much time we have
I'm not a fan of
How
the
are we supposed to
style,
just
but
be
they did put a lot of work into it.
This game reminds me of a cartoon that has escaped my memory.
June 15th.
Their
folks.
logo is trash. Sorry. Their logo is trash.
That's an old.
Logo is 2 out of 10.
I think
Trash
it's
logo.
yeah.
like a two-noob system or some shit. I don't remember.
The other game didn't load up for me, so I got it back out again. Damn it.
Oh,
okay.
goodness.
I know how to fix it now though, so just leave it going.
Samba de Amigo.
Oh, okay. I'll just hit play again.
Samba de Amigo Party Central for Switch, $40.
To match the targets during a song.
Oh, this is like
and
the popular rapper team.
Yeah, this franchise has been going on for a while.
Yeah. I've not seen this game in a while.
Dance with a friend to predict your compatibility in Love Checker.
Ooh, a love checker.
Make sure to show up in style.
That smile is
too.
just creepy to me. What the heck?
Compete online in World Party. Those with the lowest scores in each
How do you
round will be
play this
eliminated.
game?
Didn't they used to sell bongos for this game back in the day? Or something?
There was a Diddy Kong game or something like that, I think, or a Donkey Kong game.
Donkey Kong.
Diddy had
bongos.
Yeah, I had that.
bongos.
Maracas
This
and
had
bongos.
maracas.
Shake it when Samba de Amigo Party Central shimmies
It
on
was,
Nintendo Switch this summer.
Jungle Beat. Donkey Kong.
That's right.
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
Sea of Stars. It's coming out on everything. $35, but it's also Game Pass Day 1.
And PS Plus.
Sea of Stars.
It's in PS Plus also.
Yeah,
Right on.
they made the deal with PlayStation.
Nice.
Well, this is like literally everywhere then. Man. That's cool.
Yeah, everywhere. It's gonna be such an amazing game. The combos that you
Carl.
It looked like a
Carl
G,
or
though.
was it-
It
Was
was.
that Carl or was that Carl?
It's Garl.
Garl. Garl, get over here.
Said I.
And the cool thing is like the combos that you have within the other players. It's cool.
Is this single player?
Yeah.
Probably, right?
They were gonna have split
pretty
screen
cool.
co-op, but they couldn't get it running on the Series S.
Oh yeah.
And
Friggin' potato. Thanks.
It's out tonight, Survey.
Oh, it is Garl. It looks like Garl.
I want one of those 8-bit sandwiches.
Ooh, I like that whip thing. That was cool.
Stormcaller. Let's go.
Summons. I love it. This game is gonna be so amazing. God,
Nice.
it's
Okay.
like fucking Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger all wrapped up.
It's gonna be a popular game for a lot of people. Somerville on PS4 and PS5 is finally releasing. Or sorry, wait, no, I skipped
This is
one.
Under the Waves.
Under the Waves is releasing on everything but Switch for $30.
How are you?
Tired, but
Yeah.
in a
August
It looks
29th.
like the environment is really high
unit
resolution.
Unit change.
I'm worried.
but your character is kind of like
about you.
this weird
I heard there was a storm
cell
coming.
shaded.
I told you,
Oh, in this game?
I still
Yeah.
need time.
So the environments are done
To
very,
what,
very,
Stan?
are very detailed, but then your
Because as far
guys
as
Oh,
kind
I
of
yeah.
like
can
this
see, you're
new-
just treading water.
We're upping the extraction rate. Maximum output.
Interesting. I've never heard
Garl
of
sold
that.
you on
expect
Sea of
you to.
Stars.
Understand?
Thanks,
I'm the
Garl.
only one who's suffering.
And this is the same studio that did Detroit Becomes Human or something like that, or Detroit Become Human. I think.
Promise.
Oh, really? It's
I thought that was Quantic Dream.
yeah, that was
This is
Quantic
just
Dream.
Quantic-
Yeah. Or maybe former devs from that game or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Reviews.
Somerville, PS4 and
I got
PS5
stuck
release.
on this game. I don't know how to freaking beat this game. I got stuck and I never played it again.
It's $27.49 coming out for PS4 and PS5, or if you want to get it on Xbox, you can get it for $13.74. What are these prices? It's so weird. I guess after discounts or something.
Yeah. With like the Game Pass
If you
discount.
guys like Inside and Limbo, please play this game. It's like
I like how you recommended it after you couldn't beat it.
Hey, just because I can't beat it doesn't mean others can.
Yeah, the last part can be tricky. I wound up using the guide for the other endings. There's multiple endings, so
I got stuck somewhere, and then I was like, I don't know how to beat this. But freaking awesome animations and beautiful vistas and everything. So definitely check it out. See, Def Leppard said he got stuck too. See, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. It's a lot bigger than like Inside and Limbo, like in terms of the environments. So I get that.
Next we got Trine 5.
Trine 5.
A Clockwork
the Astral
Conspiracy.
Academy is ours.
It's $27.
Well done.
Such a random price.
There's one
Now
more
we
trailer
can
after
proceed
this.
to
It's
the
not on
next
that
step
list.
in our
So
plan.
yeah.
It is time to take care of the heroes of Trine.
Ooh, I like the art style. Let's see.
This is a story about the fabled heroes of Trine and their struggle against their worst enemy yet.
Ooh,
For dark
my
and
type of
ruthless
game.
powers were weaving their webs in
What is
secret.
this?
Like a puzzle platformer.
Yeah, it's a co-op puzzle platformer.
Oh, that's why I like platformers.
They have my children. Lady
But
Sunny,
is it
that
in Game Pass?
cursed monster.
And what's stopping me from firing an arrow through your lying
Yeah, this
face?
looks sick.
My new kingdom will have no use for the remnants of the old one. Not the wizards, nor the heroes.
Trine 5. Oh, is this the 5th? What the heck?
yeah, you missed the first 4.
Yep.
So
The first one was a popular Xbox Live Arcade game, actually. Oh, it didn't load for me, Jasper. Damn it.
I got an ad for some reason.
Okay, I'll leave it. Let me know when you're ready to go, and I'll just.
I hit skip.
I'll
It's
pause it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And next up, everybody.
The wonder is,
I made an exception this week.
not that the field of
Usually,
stars
this is not the
so
official
vast,
release week for Starfield. This is the early access
but
week.
that we have measured.
However, it's fucking Starfield, so let's go. We're gonna get to play Starfield Thursday night. Can you believe it? I can't. We got Starfield. It's coming. You feel it?
Let's go. I feel it.
Are you?
Yeah,
sucked
Amit, this
into
is
the
an indie
black
game. I
hole
think
of
this
hype?
this could be the indie game that gets nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Let's
Indeed.
go.
We're all here because we're committed
Yeah.
to this question.
Starfield.
Let's
I'm just waiting for people to do like what do they call it, machinima, where they make like their own little mini movies from stuff they do.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting
Oh,
to
yeah.
see what comes of that.
I can't wait
Oh,
to see
yeah.
the content.
Like
that comes out of
Robot
Starfield.
Chicken, Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
part
not
of
Robot
Constellation
Chicken.
now.
Yeah, Red vs. Blue Mission and Robot Chicken just anime.
I can't wait to explore the boundaries and limitations of Starfield.
We do not fully understand all
I'm gonna
that is
fly
at
in
work.
space. I'm gonna steal sandwiches. I'm gonna sell Aurora. Thursday night. Let's go.
From here on out.
I can't wait to walk in 10 minutes in a single line. See my limit.
God himself has made this
Artifacts could
game.
be everything we've been looking for. Another great.
I think I'm gonna play this
versus
almost like it
asking
as
us
if it was
to
Star
ally.
Trek, where I stay on the planet for like a full day,
Human settlements throughout the
Yeah.
galaxy could be
Yeah, I want to do
everything.
that too.
do as many side missions and whatnot on that planet before I move on.
But what if the side mission takes you to a new planet? Like, what if it's like deliver this life-saving vaccine or some shit to like another planet that's like been contaminated by some pirates or some shit?
Ooh. It's gonna be some hard decisions. Either somebody's not gonna make it, not gonna get their medication in time, or some pirates are gonna get murked just because I had to leave the planet. So yeah.
I'm definitely getting the perk to send money to my parents.
This
It's a weird choice, but whatever you want to do.
This logo's trash. No, this looks actually sick. All right.
Mom, meatloaf.
Mom.
Ow.
I'm getting it from Planet 5.
Starfield, let's go.
Oh man.
Yes. This week, Pong Soul and I are going to be live for PM in the PM on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our regularly slated programming. However, there will be one change. That game launches for us an hour after we go live. So after we're live for an hour, I am going to proceed and play the shit out of Starfield on stream. Pong's going to go on and play on his own and maybe play on his own stream as well. And we're going to have a freaking blast Thursday night. So tune in to PM in the PM with the lead up. I may even go live earlier than that if I feel like it or have ability to, and just let Pong come in for an hour for a little special PM in the PM launch celebration. I don't know. We'll figure it out Thursday, but it's a big week for Xbox. Big week for me for gaming, just like wanting to like play this game for years and years and years. It's finally happening. A big week for all of us, I think. I think pretty much everybody here is excited for Starfield. So,
never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't see it on any buses, so I don't know.
Enjoy playing Goodbye Volcano High, asshole. All right, everybody, it's here. Let's go. All right, so that's gonna do it for this show, everybody. That was Tidbits. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all for being here. You all rock, as always. And thanks for being a part of what we do. Let's get everybody out of here, including Psychonauts, who is going to be experiencing the Sea of Stars tonight.
Oh, yeah. I already loaded up. It's ready to go. So thanks, everyone, for coming out tonight. Sorry that I was late, but it's always a pleasure to have you guys here. Watching us, it's just always a blessing. Thank you, and well, I don't know. It could be the last time I fucking podcast because we are getting a hurricane coming through my neck of the woods, so might be the last time you guys hear me.
Well, I would hope not.
So yeah, we'll see.
I hope not.
I know, but it's fucking Mother Nature, and it's Florida, so. But guys, you can find me hopefully not dead, but you can find me on Monday on FSP.
If you actually die, this is going to be very bad.
Right? Yeah.
Not just because you died, because you said you were going to.
Well, it's like I said, it's a hurricane.
It's just getting worse.
So
I'm just kidding.
It's a hurricane.
I hope you stay safe, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide in. I'm gonna hide in the closet. We'll see what happens.
Oh my god!
I think it's bathtub or doorway or something. No, doorway. Make sure you can get
it. I don't have a bathtub. Okay, so my bathroom is a stand-in shower with glass window. It's a glass panel.
It's Florida. You just go outside. It's raining. It rains about every half hour. Just
use your PS5 as your float.
That Psycho just stands in the fucking kitchen with a rag and just goes to town.
Yeah, I'll go to my neighbor's house and be like, yo,
can I borrow your tub?
I'm gonna hide in your tub. Don't mind me and the missus. So, thank you, folks. It's been an honor, and we'll see you hopefully on Xbox Ultimate at 10 o'clock.
Right on. I hope so. I hope so, bro. You'll have to like message us and let us know you're okay for sure.
Yeah, if you see Psychonauts playing Starfield, everything is a-okay.
But you always appear offline, so I'll never know.
Yeah.
No, I will go online if
Okay.
Just for this.
Cool.
3-bit.
It's like a beacon.
Hopefully you also don't die this week. But where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bit. I probably would just be getting remnants of Psycho's storm. So I just I get the wish-washy. It was storming like crazy today, so I'm assuming that's from
No,
from
it's not.
all that nonsense. Oh well, I don't know.
That's just a storm, bro.
That's just a storm. It's
just a
just
storm.
But
we need
yeah,
one
you
of
guys can find me
those.
there. And what else? Thursday, I am planning on finally doing episode 2. It's weird because it's basically already finished. I already animated it. There's just one scene I wanted to add, and I was like, oh man, that's gonna take some time. But it's like 98% done. Jim Ryan's in it. Phil Spencer's in it. It's pretty funny. So just look out for that video. I will be streaming Starfield too, so maybe we could just do this ultimate, like, everybody streams Starfield and we could stream each other's streams. I don't know. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, looking forward to Starfield. And thanks everybody in the chat. Love y'all coming each show. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Right on, bro. Fuzzy Belvedere, about you, bro?
No show Wednesday. Sorry.
Oh, just thanks for having me on here. Thanks for everybody in the chat. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Man, just a few more days before we're off in space, and man, I expect Twitter, or the app formerly known as Twitter, to be kind of quiet, other than maybe a screenshot here and there. But man, look forward to playing this game. Look forward to Friday with you guys. Possibly talking about this game on very limited sleep. But for those that want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter, Fuzzy_Belvedere. Look forward to seeing you guys here on Friday for Xbox Ultimate.
Yeah.
See you there.
Right on, Fuzz.
Shit, that's right, because it comes out on Thursday at 8. So I was like, it would be cool if I did a 24-hour stream, but then I would have to podcast at 10 o'clock that night. So I only have 2 hours of fucking...
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Well, it looks like we're not doing that. But so anyway, in about 15 minutes, I'll say, let's just say 12:30, because that'd be 20 minutes. I'm going to be going live on my channel. I'm going to be breaking down some of the stars and comparing them to our real life stars in Starfield on the map. So come check that out. That's it. Lore Master Jasper on YouTube, and then Lore Jasper on Twitter. All that fun stuff. And it's Monday, Friday, 10 o'clock right here on the Fun Speculation Network with FSP and Xbox Ultimate. And then coming up on the 5th, we got a new show. It's going to be at 10. It's Fun Pop.
Yes. That will be next Tuesday.
Fun Pop.
At 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Fun Pop is back, and look forward to that. I got a lot of catching up to do on shows and stuff. But thank you all for being here, and can't wait for Starfield. This will be the last time that we're probably live, unless I do some kind of weird dumbass stream again the next 2 nights until Starfield launches. That launch night. So see you all then, and then Friday's Xbox Ultimate, we all get to tell our stories about what we've been doing in the stars.
Maybe.
And yeah, if you're not dead, right? And you know, Psycho, exactly. Yeah, I gotta say, man, you know, if it happens, it's been real. Have a good night, everybody. Take it easy.
Thank you, everybody, and don't forget, Jasper is not going to wear pants tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
On his stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know he's not wearing any right now?
Because he told me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pants off.
That's my side streaming business. That's called OnlyFans. You can subscribe to that for $9.99 a month.
So there's a second stream. It's below the desk. That stream you got to pay for that stream.
Are we still live?
I think we're still live. I haven't hit the button yet. I don't know where this is going, but
all right. Bye, guys. I'm done.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.